one episode. It took one. I gave a rave review for the third episode of Daredevil. You hear me? I mean, it blew me away how much I liked the third episode of Daredevil. And then what was even worse was that the fourth episode was also amazing. The fourth episode showed Punisher, and it had one of the best back and forths between two characters that have been done within the MCU in a long time. And it had depth. It had wonderful, like, just the acting was on point, the conversation was on point, just all around great. The fourth episode was great. And I was just sitting there like, man, Born Again is great. It's just great. And it's like, I'm sad if the ratings are saying that it's not doing well. I'm sad for that, but it's great. It's just carrying itself in a way that I'm loving it. Then I saw the fifth episode and I went, never mind. You should go fuck yourself. Disney do what Disney do. There's no stopping that. There's just no stopping it. The fifth episode of Daredevil Born Again was just such a ridiculous piece of shit. Oh my goodness. Anything that you could possibly imagine that would be stupid to go on within the theme of what's been happening within the Daredevil series up until that point. That could possibly, anything that you would think is stupid that could possibly happen, happens. Because that's how fucking retarded Disney is. So one of the things that happens is that this episode talks about Ms. Marvel. Yee! Because who in the fuck, when looking at Daredevil, would give a goddamn about a character that's all bright, bubbly, and ridiculous like Ms. Marvel? And again, they're only talking about Ms. Marvel. So apparently, for a quick little summary of what's going on in that episode, is that Matt Murdock needs a loan for his law firm, or for his practice. Not practice, not a doctor. For his law firm. Yeah, that was right. For his law firm. And then he goes to a bank to try and apply for a loan. The bank manager happens to be out, so the assistant manager is speaking with him. And the assistant manager happens to be Kamala Khan's dad. Yep. Ms. Marvel's dad is the assistant bank manager at this bank. Yippee fucking Skippy, right? So then you basically get a banter between him and Matt Murdock, and then him basically doing what I considered unbelievably, not only unprofessional, but just inconsiderate. The asshole kept taking out shit to show a blind man. He was like, do you want some candy? And he lifted up a bowl of candy in front of a blind man. Then he was like, have you not heard of Ms. Marvel? As if anyone in their right fucking minds would have heard of Ms. Marvel. And then Matt Murdock, being of sound mind and an actual person, while all of this other cartoonish bullshit was happening around him, went, no, I'm afraid I haven't heard of her. And it's like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Yes, of course you haven't, because that's not a hero, not a person. The fuck? And so then this asshole reaches and brings out a fucking Funko Pop. As if you couldn't sink any lower in how retarded you make your retarded decisions. You show a fucking Funko Pop, those things ain't even... No, fuck. It's like so stupid. And again, blind man. This asshole reached and pulled out a Funko Pop to show a blind man Ms. Marvel. Made no apologies about it. Acted as if he saw it and just still didn't know who the fuck Ms. Marvel was. And it just goes to show you exactly. I was looking at it and I was like, oh shit, this is the writing that was on She-Hulk. Don't do this. You was great. You was so good. You was such a great show. what the fuck is this nonsense going on? Because I'm having a hard time trying to give a fuck about why you're even here in the first place. So again, after the dude basically just brought up retarded conversations of nothing for nothing, he then told him that he couldn't get the loan, wasting so much precious fucking time. Because again, I run a fucking law firm, and then currently there's a bunch of crazy shit going on within the city, and I'm also having to deal with those things. But you want to talk about some punk ass superhero that nobody ever heard of, and the Funko Pop was made of her without the goddamn little fake ass Captain Marvel helmet that she wore from the Ms. Marvel show. So how could they have possibly made that if she's only known as Ms. Marvel with like the headgear and shit like that? She's not known without that because that was the space shit from the movie. Oh, we forget how fucking stupid we made our fucking stupid characters. Just a piece of shit. It pissed me off because again, episode 3 was so goddamn good. It was so good. Then it's like, wait, just 2 episodes down, you're gonna see a crock of shit. And then we just gonna have to go over that, and then you're gonna keep watching Daredevil. But we gotta put this in here, otherwise we don't know what to do. You could just make an 8-episode series. No, that'd be gay. But I thought Disney was all about the gay. Not like that. That'd be good quality television. Can't be that gay. Fuck. So, wasting his time, told him no. Then the bank gets robbed. As Matt Murdock is leaving, he can hear the bank being robbed because, right. But he hears specifically that the bank is being robbed. Okay. As he's walking down a super busy street, and he's like blocks away, and then he can hear the bank being robbed. But it's, I mean, episode 1, he was hearing the gun. He was hearing Bullseye's gun. So, and he was like damn near 4 blocks away. You know what? It's whatever. Whatever on that one. I'm not gonna wash it for that, but still, all right. Just bear with me, okay? So then he goes back into the bank, and then the bank's being robbed by these Irishmen because it's St. Patrick's Day. And boy. What a way to celebrate it by having Irish guys rob a bank and then essentially be incredibly dismissive and just have a bunch of is it bigotry? No, prejudice. Yeah, there we go. And just have a bunch of prejudice against a guy who's blind and like can't see anything about them as threatening. Like they punched a blind man to be like, now you know I'm serious. Like what the fuck? Like, he can't see, dumbass. It's like, what the fuck? Oh my goodness. It didn't make any sense. So then you get Kamala Khan's dumbass dad basically admit that he knows the code to the bank vault when he didn't. Basically kind of giving us something good where if he could have died off screen, and then that actually would have been some type of turmoil that she would have to deal with after the fact, where it was like you left New York to go have fun in California with your friends, you know, listening to Miley Cyrus and shit. But and then a bank robbery happened that you probably could have stopped, and your father was killed because, you know, he's a moron. And how you feel about that, Kamala? Oh my God, I guess you have to deal with that. Like that's some traumatic shit. Me being a hero and how family oriented I am, and the fact that like I wasn't even around. I was having a good time, and it turns out my dad was killed. That's some harsh shit. But no, I'm a DEI character, so I don't have any hardship outside of existing and telling people about my existence. Did you know I'm Pakistani? I don't give a fuck. Just don't. No one gives a fuck. Oh my goodness. So Matt Murdock saves the guy, and then all the dude does is basically just it they made him a bitch. Like, they made him a bitch character, but it was typical. It was stuff that you would typically see in like these terribly written shows when it's like they have a female does it. So like essentially be dismissive towards the main character, constantly talking down to him, constantly disagreeing with him, doubting him, shit like that. At first, this was a grand thing that you would see basically with like a lot of female characters, but now I just associated with a character that you could just call a bitch. So because they're starting to basically do it to where rather than being the weird pessimistic character, it's someone that essentially has no room to argue, but they continue to argue. Like there's no reason for like, if you have seen the episodes, there was no reason for the guy to be completely dismissive towards Matt, considering how proactive he was, still being a blind man in this terrible situation, how he was able to carry himself, how he was able to handle himself, and then get to the point where he was able to actually save his fucking life while being a blind man and fight off a dude barehanded, and then basically proceed to go, I know how to open up this salt. I know how to open up this vault. And then do it while then still having Kamala Khan's dad basically be a bitch. Just, you need to give up, you need to stop, we need to figure out a way to tell those guys we're sorry, I don't know the code or shit like that. And it's like, well, he's just sitting there doing a thing. Also, bank vault, fucking dumb. Because it was a bank vault that just used a regular combination lock. No key, no fingerprint scanner, no. And then it was like, it was for the safety deposit boxes, the thing that the high rollers pay extra for. So it was like, so your only means of security for this is just the combination to this vault? It's like, well, the combination can change, yeah, but it's just the combination. And again, it's the assistant, like the manager isn't there. So it's just the assistant manager is there. So again, like if something happens, say, oh, I don't know, a fucking bank robbery, maybe, just maybe, there's no way they could possibly get in because there would be multiple layers of security for a fucking bank vault. Nowadays, it would just be a combination lock. I don't know. And remember, Matt is there to get a loan. I don't think you should get a loan from this bank. I don't think this bank is wise with money. So they do everything that they're doing for a fucking jewel. They don't, like, Matt tricks them into thinking that they got it. They don't get it. Turns out someone got them to rob the bank, but it's never revealed who or why they were trying to do it or what was the significance of them getting the jewel or anything like that. None of that is conveyed. They don't explain any of that shit. They just have the bank robbery. It get foiled, and then that's it. So it doesn't even come up in later episodes that is actually that it mattered or it had any significance in the story whatsoever. Fuck, even the concept of needing a loan isn't even brought up in the other episodes on whether or not they're having money troubles or shit like that. The only thing that you got going on within the fucking law firm is just the fact that Matt is hiding something from his partner, who can tell that he's hiding something because the nigga's going around being Daredevil again. So again, why did they have episode 5? Why did you need that? Why would you do that? You could have just had 8 episodes and that would have been it, you piece of shit. The only good thing that came out of that episode was a joke. It was a great St. Patrick's Day joke. It was hilarious. It involved leprechauns, penguins. It was great. I don't want to tell the joke, but it's a good joke. Yeah, leave you wanting more. But it was a good joke. And I would appreciate, listen to me, MCU, and the 4 people who watch me. I would appreciate if you took the Asian policewoman that you had in this show that has appeared multiple times now, because she shows up in later episodes. If she becomes the police captain that eventually works together with Spider-Man, It fits. And then you have her turn into Banshee, which is what happens to that character. She fits the bill. She's in New York. She's Asian. She's a police. She's working for the cops. That's it. She's having a run-in with superhero and vigilante characters. There you go. That's it. Just print, cash the fucking check. That's all you need to do. I'd appreciate it if you would consider doing that for this character. Her small up-and-coming moments within Daredevil, and then you just let that cascade into her eventually becoming the villain, Banshee. You're seeing the rise and fall of a character in real time. If you can do this well, then it would be a welcomed character arc that essentially does not exist within the MCU. So just do me that solid. Do me that solid and we'd be fine. They're not gonna do it because it's the MCU and they fucking suck. But yeah, at the end of the episode, Matt comes back to the bank the day after, or just after the bank robbery. I don't believe it's the day after, but just after the bank robbery. Because that was the other thing about the Daredevil show Born Again that actually is cool, was that it uses significant situations, or essentially to moments and things like that within the year to signify exactly how much time has passed, giving you a grander sense of exactly how long this struggle and what it is that's going on is taking place. So from Kingpin becoming mayor, and he's like, Norman knowing when elections and stuff like that happening, up into hey, they had the freaking St. Patrick's Day bank robbery, right? So it's like, yeah, those things let you know, like, all right, yeah, chunks of time is passing, but overall this is building into what's building. Hell, even Kingpin's image, because he's getting thicker, and then he's starting to eat differently, so you're seeing him get bigger as a person. All that's just pretty cool. I just want to say that ain't got shit to do with the 5th episode. Still need it. But Matt went to go check up on the guy, right? And then he was like, I'm sorry. He said, but we still won't be able to. He's like, no, you saved my life. You still won't be able to get you a loan. In the douchiest way fucking possible. The guy literally saved your life. Everything about you was family and wanting your family, and your dumbass in a moment of panic almost basically got yourself killed for no fucking reason. Right? Almost was killed. And then this blind man goes out of his way to save your ass. And the first thing that comes out of your mouth upon seeing him is that, we're still not going to give you any money, you bitch. And it was like, and in the smoothest and coolest way, Murdoch just smiled and laughed it off. And he was like, no, I'm here to make sure you're okay. Like, are you all right? Like, I'm just checking up on you. And it was like, oh my God, it was like, oh no, well, yes, I'm fine. And then it was like, all right, we can't do this. Like, then just more unnecessary banter about stupid shit. And then he was like, but you can come to dinner and eat and see, you can eat with me and my family and my daughter, Kamala Khan. And he's like, the famous Kamala Khan. Oh yeah. And then we could talk about how to make your law firm more profitable. That way we can give you a loan. It's like, bitch, if you was capable of doing that, why didn't you mention that before? He should be a big fucking deal within this world, considering the fact that the current mayor is the guy that he put in jail. So knowing about his name, or even looking into the history of the shit that he did, when he went to the bank, in the first place, they was like, you really don't take on the big cases that get like a lot of, profit back. And it's like, yeah, but I'm known for winning. So it's not really a liability in terms of actually getting some money back. And it's like, if your suggestion later on is just, can you take on more profitable cases? Fine. All right. But it's not a question of me winning or losing. I tend to win. Because again, I took down the fucking kingpin of crime. The kingpin of crime. People didn't even know this nigga's name, and I took him down. How does that not matter? How does that not account for something? That dude is the current mayor. Yes, he served his time, but he still went to jail. I still put his ass in jail. How does that not account for anything? Oh my goodness, this is the equivalent of like when on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when the Falcon went to go get, oh my god, it's the same fucking thing. When the Falcon went to go get a loan, and then it was like, yeah, you ain't got no money. And then it was like, you don't get paid as an Avenger? And it was like, yeah, that's not really a government thing. Then it's like, yeah, but everything with the Avengers proceeds to show the government being the one to give y'all shit and tell y'all where to go. Hell, the new Captain America movie, the government told him where to go and what to do. Does he still got money problems? I don't fucking know. His sister ain't real. She existed on a show and never again. This is so bad to watch. It's like, to keep up with this shit is just terrible now. It's not fun. It's not interesting. It just raises questions because they got so many idiots doing shit without a care in the world. Fuck. Like I said, this episode ruined so much because it just made it so bad for no fucking reason. And then it has no place in the series whatsoever. The tone doesn't work. The concept doesn't work. Hell, he doesn't even dress up as Daredevil to do anything. He's just around a bitch who's just constantly dogging him out and talking down to him while he's just proving himself to be awesome again and again and again. So stupid. And then again, this takes away from all of the tension, the drama, and just the beautiful craftsmanship that came from the earlier episodes, incentivizing that ruthless shit is going on within the city right now. And whether or not Kingpin or Daredevil are actively out there doing anything, shit is only gonna get worse. And shit has been consistently getting worse, and something needs to change. All that's put to a grinding fucking halt just so we could talk about Kamala Khan. And then to show her punk ass dad for a hot second, because again, to keep referencing Kamala Khan. Only then to end the episode saying that Matt Murdock met Kamala Khan. As if that holds any significance towards anything going on within the Daredevil world. We desperately need someone to bring up and talk about Kamala Khan. All of the subtle references and nods to characters that's been done within the series has been great. Even in dealing with other like lower level vigilante characters, especially like White Tiger. And then just, you can have a multitude of other people who pop up and then add on to Matt Murdock's notoriety for being someone who does represent a lot of vigilante and superhero characters, which you could easily introduce and showcase within the show, seeing as how it is outwardly saying that it's connected to the MCU. All of that could have been done or just allowed to happen, and it would have been beautiful. It just would have been this just a wonderful masterpiece of making Daredevil or Matt Murdock exactly what he's supposed to be based off of the comics and what his character is known for. But nah, you gotta go to a bank. There's some money we don't need. Talk about Kamala Khan. 'Cause Disney says so. Like I said, this one episode pissed me off. It's just so stupid. Got a good joke in it. There was a good joke in the show. And it was just so stupid. All to try to be like, oh, look, it's a bank robbery that got some shit going on. They smart thieves at the end. And it's like, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs, it's butterscotch. Gold thing of butterscotch. God, so stupid. I think what's even worse is the fact that, again, I was so happy watching the third episode. I thought that, I thought the show was great. And it is like shit like this, the Disney shit, the stupid inconsiderate shit, the no thought behind shit. It just makes me mad. All right, I'm gonna go. I still haven't watched at this point in time, I've seen 7 episodes of the Daredevil show. Still haven't watched the 8th episode, but that's basically what I'm gonna do now. But yeah, it just after seeing the 5th one, it was like, all right, yeah. I needed a minute to cool down, but whatever. There's been another episode of Fun with Flame. I like 5th episode aside, the show is still good, but it didn't do it any favors. God damn it. You hate to see it happen. This has been another episode of Fun with Flame. I've been your host, Danieltheflame, and as always, good people. Hope you have fun.